Hey guys, so I am here with my crew in Beijing. So here's a couple of interesting tidbits. And it's I'll give you a couple of things about hotel stays, and I'm going to give you some information about the transit visa, because I know when I was researching transit visas, as I have a tenure and my children and husband don't have a visa at all for China, I didn't understand this transit visa thing, and it cost me $2,000 in mistakes and brand new tickets. Whole nother story. Anyway, I had originally bought tickets on Philippine Airlines, caught a sale for like $350 per person or so. Want to be like $2,000 for all of us to go. Well, at the 11th hour, I swear, like 2 days before we were supposed to leave, my spirit just started talking to me. So I wanted to inquire more because I was still trying to figure out this whole transit visa thing. So I called the airline and I found out that they wouldn't let us board with that itinerary at the airport as a transit, because I only had booked from LA to Shanghai actually. So I got nervous. I was like, this is too much of a risk. I don't want to get all the way to LA and I can't get on the plane. So I pretty much just canceled those tickets, lost my money, and had to rebook at a much higher price. But my sons were excited about going and I was committed to the process, and so we went anyway. And I also had called the Chinese consulate in Atlanta, and they were giving me squirrely information too about these visas. So evidently it's a real thing, but not everybody understands how it works. So I'm going to tell you how it works. So I rebooked, and this time I said, you know what? I'm going to stay with a Chinese carrier because I should believe they're going to know the process and go all the way through. So we're going to Thailand after this. So I booked everything with Air China because they knew. And I called Air China's airline reservation line, and they also confirmed that, yep, this is all good. This is how it works. I'm like, perfect. So even though I paid more, I feel comfortable about the process. And it did. It went down very seamless, very flawless, effortlessly, but just more money. Anyway, so this is how it works. If you're in Shanghai as they call it, you are committed to only staying in that region. So in other words, you can't go from Shanghai to Beijing on this transit visa. You have to stay in that region. So we're in Beijing. So all we can do is go to Beijing or Tianjin on this visa. Nowhere else until we actually leave, and if we want to come back in. That's mainly in China. It was free. Very, very easy process. We got off the plane. We followed the signs and went over and got the visa. All they want to see is your ongoing itinerary. So they want to see your flight. They want to see where you're staying when you're here. And then they stamp your passport. And they automatically gave us a 144-hour visa. We didn't even have to ask. But I guess based on the dates we were leaving, it only made sense. So 72 hours wasn't going to get it. So you had the 144-hour visa stamped on the passport. And we were free to go. Got to the hotel. Same thing. Very, very simple. Now about these hotels, that's a whole nother story because they have a 3-person per room policy. Well, it was 4 of us, which made it very tricky because usually I can finesse and go, okay, no, we're all going to stay in this room. They weren't really trying to hear that. So I was forced into buying 2 rooms. Thankfully, I'm using points, but that's not the point. It's not the point of using the points because I like my points and I wanted to use them how I wanted to use them and not be forced into it. So it is what it is, but it's kind of nice because the boys have their own room. As long as they don't tear the club up, we're going to be fine. And the grown folks have their own room. So it kind of works, but it's just, ugh. You know, when you're trying to work them free coins and them free points, you want everything that you can get and save at the same time. So anyway, that's the skinny. I don't want to make this long, but I wanted to share with you guys about how the process worked and that it does work and it is free. So if you don't want to spend $166 on a true 10-year visa, you can definitely get the transit visa for 24, 72, or 144 hours. So I hope that helps somebody out as they're planning their travels to China. Ni hao, wah huh. That means hello and good night.